Celebrating Indigenous culture, diversity, and the power of live art, the Barrie Theatre Festival runs August 7 to 17 at 5 Points Theatre. Presented by Tourism Barrie and Theatre by the Bay, the festival spans three series from Métis storyteller Samantha Loney's Daughter of the Country to award-winning Sex T-Rex comedy troupe in Crime After Crime After Crime, Danny Cannis's musical journey Down Broadway Lane, the Shakespeare-inspired Barrie Bard Blunder, and family-friendly fun like Curious K explores the Paleozoic and the Campy Campfire show where young audience are invited on the stage to search for the things required for campfire. I sat down with Managing Producer Glenn Coulson and some of these artists to hear how this mix of local voices, talent, and youth-focused theatre is bringing community and creativity to Barrie this summer.
Theatre, thank you all so much for being here. We are so excited. This is our first year and we have the best lineup we've ever had lately. It's so exciting. We set the bar really high. I don't know what we're going to do for next year, so thank you for that. And we're going to start off with Danny Cannis. Danny, you want to come up and lead us off? Down Broadway Lane. I'll let Danny do his own intro, really, but he's spectacular and amazing and good friends with him.
Hi everyone, hello. A hop, skip, and a jump from New York to the stages of New Jersey. In the early 2000s, we saw a drastic change in musical theater genres, from pop rock to 50s doo-wop to hip-hop and rap. And in 2002, a 50s doo-wop group known as the Four Seasons made a roaring comeback with this next one. Good thing I got a mic stand. Cut, play.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. I wanna hold you so much. And long as love has arrived, I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. Pardon the way that I stare. There's nothing else to compare. The sight of you makes me weak. There are no words left to speak. And if you feel like I feel, please let me know that it's real. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. Well, I can see some of you singing, which means you know the lyrics. So, on this chorus, I want you to all sing along with me, all right? You ready? You're just too good to be true.
Samantha, all right.
So this is the kitchen where my great-grandmother, Mary Beauchamp, you'll find that's a common name for all of the women in my family. So she would bake bannock here for her family every Sunday morning. You know, she'd be on the phone talking to one of her cousins in her language, and then she'd have to shout because her son would be off in the other room playing the fiddle way too loudly. And then my grandmother and her little sister, they'd be peeking around the corner, you know, trying to listen in to understand what it was that their mother was saying. This was also the kitchen where my grandmother would bring her mother her French homework, and she'd ask her to help her with it. But she would always insist, you know, I don't speak French. And she wasn't lying. She didn't speak French. She spoke French Métis, or what was known back then as bad French. And if it was so bad, then why would she want to teach her children to speak it? Of course, you know, we're not actually in the Beauchamp family kitchen. We're here in Barrie, Ontario, or Simcoe County. And you'll notice that, you know, Métis people weren't in the land acknowledgement that I had earlier. And you know, this isn't traditional Métis territory, but there is a dark Métis history that is tied to these lands. Has anyone been to the South Shore Centre? Well, at the South Shore Centre, right beside it is Military Heritage Park. And in that park, there's a plaque on the Simcoe Battalion. The Simcoe Battalion were the ones who were sent to go fight the Métis during the Northwest Resistance, or Rebellion, I guess, depending on what side you were on. And if you don't know what that is, that's when Canada, they wanted to expand further into the West without consulting the Indigenous people who lived there. And I know, like, we could probably never imagine doing something like that today, right? Ontario is also home to the Orange Men, the one who wanted Louis Riel, basically Métis Jesus, if you guys didn't know that. He's a big political figure in Métis politics. The Orange Men wanted to hang him. And it's so weird to grow up in a place that wanted your family dead.
Checking my mic. Checking my mic 1, 2, 3. Checking it again. Checking it a third time. Yes. Checking it now. Checking it now.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? Yeah. Good!
Is my mic on?
Is everybody ready?
Oh, yeah.
me one last favor?
You name it!
When I say Permian, you say 250 million years ago. Okay, ready? The Permian period.
250 million years ago.
The land was ruled by strange animals called therapsids, with the apex predator being the fearsome Gorgonopsians. Secret lizards crawling on all fours that were long before the dinosaurs, reigning supreme for millions upon millions of years. The ubiquitous herbivorous animals that fed the likes of Gorgonopsia were called Dicynodons. These big barrel-shaped therapsids were so successful at diversifying that we lived throughout the largest extinction event in history. At the end of the Permian, 250 million years ago, a range of volcanoes roughly the same total size as the mainland United States began to erupt. And erupt, 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 for 100,000 years. Here we go. Volcanic gases rose up high, spread around by the currents of the sky, making the Earth's temperature climb for the 90% of the flora to die. The CO2's been wet in the water, causing all the fish to smother. Algae was then set to take over, making the ocean pink with the scum. The plants on land, the herbivores died with no food. The predators could not survive over the next million years. Nothing could try. The Dicynodons were the only ones left alive. The Permian period.
250 million years ago.
Before the Triassic. All that's left now is bones.
All that's left now is bones.
Goodbye. Yeah.
The Camp Campy Campfire show is an award-winning kids show that's fun for the whole family because kids actually get to come up on stage and help our performers find everything they need to build a campfire. Let's meet the cast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Campy
Campy
Campfire Show!
Yay!
Are you ready for songs?
And stories.
And so much s'mores! Songs and stories and so much s'mores!
Hello everyone, my name's Counselor Trish.
Hello, Counselor Trish. And my name's Counselor Jay.
Hello, Counselor Jay.
Honk, 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 honk!
Director Honky says, hello everyone, I'm the camp director, Honky the Canadian Goose. Hello, Director Honky.
And I'm Honky's assistant, Counselor Cal.
Hello, Honky's assistant, Counselor Cal.
Campers, counselors, are we ready to build a campfire?
Hooray!
But first, we need some firewood.
Firewood's my favorite.
Counselors, the firewood pile, it's empty. There is no firewood.
No firewood?
No firewood?
Oh, that's right, Director Honky. No firewood.
Without firewood, we have nothing to burn for our campfire.
There's no firewood.
Oh, it's okay, counselors. We can go find firewood and then bring it back.
Hooray!
But I think we're going to need some help, so make sure to come check us out at the Campy Campfire Show!
Yay! I think the best part of the show is that everyone gets a free sticker. So come join us at the 5 Points Theatre in Barrie through August 17th. Tickets are at campcampy.ca.
I see you. Yes, I see you all. the weary housewives yearning for a glimpse of passion beyond the laundry pile. The stressed business commuters, their wrists sore from tapping their prestos in unison, they seek solace from the relentless spreadsheets. The tourists still gripping their Tourism Barrie pamphlets tightly. And our esteemed sponsors, their hearts and wallets open to the transformative power of art. Hello. And the waves glowing. The waves upon waves of grey-haired theatre-goers. They fill the seats. Their collective gasp, a symphony. Their tears, a river of catharsis.
Okay, great. Let's go to the balcony.
Now, ensemble, we shall begin with the infamous balcony scene. All right? Daniel, Bella, places, please. Chloe, the atmosphere, perfect. Yes. All right. Now, Bella, my star-crossed muse. Remember your intention here. Juliet is not just on the balcony. She is the balcony. Yes? A fragile bloom, yearning for the sun, yet trapped by the very height that affords her vision. And Daniel, you are the earth, the grounding passion, yes, the desperate climb. Yes, mighty Cyrus has nothing on you. So, show me yearning, all right? Give me breathless adoration.
All right, yeah, okay, I'll give it a go. Okay.
All right. Action!
Oh, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father, refuse thy name, or, if thou wilt not, be but sworn, my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
No. Don't read it, all right? Feel it. This is an internal monologue. You're debating with yourself. The agony of indecision. The ethical implications of eavesdropping. Yes, right? All right. Now, Bella, from the top of that line, all right? Back.
Oh, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father, refuse thy name. Oh, if thou wilt not be but sworn, my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet. 'Tis but thy name that is mine enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What's a Montague? 'Tis not hand, no foot, no arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name.
I take thee at thy word.
Call me but love.
Call me but love. And I shall be newly baptized and henceforth my name shall no longer be Romeo.
Like a butter! My emotional support beverage! How can I be expected to work when I am covered in fermented fruit? Someone call the costumer, someone call my therapist.
5 minutes in, already lost a prop and the lead actor's sanity. A new record.
Bella, it's a good trifle, all right? A glitch in the matrix of our brilliance, darling, all right? You're on the cusp of dramatic excellence.
I am so sorry about all of that. Is your cup okay? Is your head feeling okay?
My head is ringing with the echoes of your incompetence. My soul is bruised. My performance utterly defiled. My heartburn reaching nearly unbearable levels.
Wait, my prima donna, wait! And see.
Another dark night in a dark city. Pitch dark. Painfully dark. The kind of dark no streetlight, no limelight could ever punch through. Thank you. But one streetlight shining out in the dark like this, well, it's just asking to get snuffed out. Take it from me, a lone private eye, Crime City, USA. Raining again. Well, there's no crime in that, but it will put spots on my fedora. So I decide to step in out of the downpour and up to my office. I know this one is mine because my name is written on the door. And like Crime City, I live up to mine. A fine example of nominated determinator. The name's Beige. Nick Beige. Private Eye. Thank you.
Photos.
Hello, I'm Lise Cormier.
Hi, I'm Kenton Blythe.
Hi, I'm Brianna Love.
The play is called Curious K Explores the Paleozoic. It made its debut at the Toronto Fringe Festival in 2023, and the response was so inspiring that we ended up here in Barrie, which is just so exciting for us. We're having a great time.
Yeah, and our show is going to be August 8th to the 16th at 1 p.m. every day except the Monday.
I wrote Curious K Explores the Paleozoic because I find the Paleozoic era extremely interesting. Lise and I were actually on Canada's Got Talent in 2023, and the response online was so strong for our song The Permian Period, which is what we were on Canada's Got Talent with, that it inspired me to continue the story that I started with that song.
So yeah, Kenton Blythe wrote the music and lyrics and the scenes, so the book, and I did the choreography and the vocal arrangements, and then the three of us are the performers, and we also have a stage manager.
So yeah, you said you were interested in that, specific, like, were you, like, my son is almost 8, he loves dinosaurs, so I'm going to bring him to this show definitely.
Excellent.
So like, what was like your interest as a child? Were you interested in dinosaurs or, fossils?
I have always been interested in natural history since I was a young kid. I grew up in Alberta, and we have a fantastic museum there called the Royal Tyrrell Museum with one of the most incredible fossil depositories I've ever seen. And it's always captured my imagination so strongly that it doesn't surprise me that I'm writing about this kind of stuff now.
Also, you like bugs.
Also, yeah, I was super into bugs when I was little. Yeah, I was super into bugs, and then that kind of evolved. And like, honestly, the Paleozoic era has specifically the Carboniferous, and the Carboniferous has the biggest bugs the world has ever seen. So it's, when you think about it like that, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
How to make it fun. So I have ADHD, and I have a processing delay neurologically. So what that means is it takes me a little bit longer to kind of understand what's going on around me. And I take that approach to when I'm writing about everything. I have to make sure that there are people in the audience who will understand what we're talking about, even if they're like me. So that's kind of how we've made the show accessible in that way. And it's something that I'm really passionate about, is when we're storytelling, we're making sure all the beats are as clear as possible, because we don't know from what angle any one audience member is approaching viewing from. So, yeah.
Yeah, and also Brianna and I play kids who are probably around like 13 years old, and they're having like a friendship conflict, so they're best friends, and they have to do this project, and so I think a lot of kids will relate to that, navigating friendships and who's doing what in the project, and I want to do it this way, or I learn this way, and we're different, like conflicts, so that's like, it's relatable in that way.
And they're learning to celebrate their differences.
Exactly.
Like, they learn differently. That's great. There's so many different ways to learn.
Yeah.
And they have different home lives, they have different responsibilities, and they learn to not only recognize that in the other person, but celebrate the other person for who they are.
Yeah. And also, like, it's very comedic, okay? So, like, the choreography, the moments, like, there's a lot of comedy built into it, which makes it accessible for people. So not only is there like the deeper story of friendship, there's also like quirkiness and silliness and, just fun.
You don't have to love theater to enjoy and just love this show.
Yeah.
You just have to want to have a great day with your family.
Exactly. And it's really for all ages. Like adults will love it, kids will love it, teenagers, like it's very has a broad appeal.
Yeah. So how long is this play?
This play is 56 minutes long.
56 minutes long, to be precise.
Yes.
Very precise. Let's not round up to the hour.
56 minutes and 23 seconds. Yes.
Also, Kenton plays a robot,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool. Like if you think of like in today's age with like AI and all of our thoughts about like robots and things like that. So it's like very timely as well as being like historical.
Because that was going to be my question about the makeup, about the outfit. So was the robot the inspiration behind it? Or?
So what was the inspiration behind the robot? You know, I wrote this play originally before AI was even on anyone's mind. And I've updated the script this time around to kind of be more sensitive to kind of what AI means in our society now. The idea of the robot, really, it was, rooted in the question, is it ethical to let a robot teach us things? Or is it ethical to let a robot do things for us?
Or help us with our homework.
Is it ethical to let a robot help, or is it ethical to allow a robot to help us with our homework?
That is like a central question to the show. So you can come to the show and find out, and you can decide for yourself.
Because these are very serious questions,
Yeah,
and then you have to incorporate those in a funny, entertaining manner, so kids can, not only understand, but they sit through it. So,
and there are things that children are currently struggling with as well. Like, is it okay to use, Google or something else or an AI to get information? And our characters disagree.
Yeah,
which is great.
So this play made its premiere at the Toronto Fringe Festival in 2023. And because we did so well at that, we won Patron's Pick, and we ended up winning a BroadwayWorld.com award as well, which was a total surprise and very welcome. That was our first production that we did, and this is officially the second. So we still feel like there's so much life left in this show. So I'm putting it out there right now. If you want to hire, sure.
Kenton and Lee's also premiered the Permian Period song on Canada's Got Talent. So.
That's true. Yes, it's almost like the proto version of this whole play was when we were on Canada's Got Talent.
Hi, I'm Connor Bradbury.
Lowen Morrow.
Julian Freyd.
I'm Sean Murray.
The play's called Crime After Crime After Crime by Sex T-Rex.
And it's running August 7th through 12th. 8:30 p.m. is the time you want to be there during those dates. And I thought we were kind of like sharing it.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to remember the name of the building we're in.
The 5 points. I was going to say 4.
You're thinking of the share.
There's so many points to remember. 4 points, 5 points. At the 5 Points Theater.
Mm-hmm. You can edit that to make it sound normal.
Right. You're going to edit this, right?
I don't know how to edit.
Okay. All one take.
It's just like the theater.
So Crime After Crime is created collectively by Sex T-Rex, like all of our works. It's a very funny genre parody show that's going to take you on a ride through a film noir in the 1950s, and then a heist in the 1970s, and then a buddy cop story in the 1990s, which explains our various outfits.
Yeah, and we were inspired by being as funny as possible.
And action movies.
Action movies.
Yeah. There's lots of kicking and punching and laser grid getting through.
Car chases.
We make a lot of gun noises with our mouths. That's fun. That's always good.
Theater school.
Yeah, we've won lots of awards with this show. We got Best of Fest at Toronto Sketch Fest. We won the Just for Laughs Best Comedy Award in Montreal. And we also won Patron's Pick at the Toronto Fringe Festival last year.
Yeah, so if you want to see a show with a lot of laughs and a lot of heart, come out to the 5 Points Theater.
Which is the building we're
in. we all met at theater school.
We were all in the same class.
Yeah, true.
And where was that? In Toronto?
That was in Toronto. we bonded over our hatred of that school.
Yeah, but stage combat was great.
Yeah.
So we decided to put our best skills together, comedy and stage combat, and make a bunch of shows. We've been doing it now since 2008.
Yeah, and Sexy Rex began as an improv troupe, and we would do improv that was inspired by like blockbuster movies, and try to do like big action movies in improv, which is impossible. And then we eventually picked the best bits from that and started to script shows. And our deal is to do different genres. So we've got like a Western show that's got all kinds of cowboy tropes. We've got like a kind of post-apocalyptic Mad Max show. And with this show, we were ambitious and tried to smash 3 genres together in one, under the umbrella of crime genres.
Hence the name.
And so have you performed this show? Where have you performed this show? In Toronto?
Show in Montreal and Toronto.
Yeah, we performed it a couple times in Montreal. We did the Wildside Festival, we did the Fringe, we did the Toronto Fringe. We also rented a site-specific location for this. We rented out a warehouse and dressed it all up to look like a speakeasy. And then we also performed it, we performed it a bunch. Oh, it's Sketchfest, in Toronto.
Right.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Dan.
Hi, I'm Jay.
Hi, I'm Cal, and this is Honky. I'm Tristan.
I'm John.
So just we have the duck. No.
Who's this?
This is Honky.
Oh, this is William.
His name
Charles William Flamingus.
The third.
So the show is the Campy Campfire show. It's at the 5 Points Theatre in Barrie through August 17th. And it's about a 45-minute long kids show that's very interactive and fun for the whole family.
The idea from the show it started with me, Stories by Dan. The idea was to do a camp show with singing and dancing, and then when I realized I can't do either, we made it into a play. And the whole point is that the play is designed around play and consent theory to help kids learn about collaboration, working with each other, and John helped me co-write it as well. It started with a fun idea. I used to be a camp counselor when I was young, like 5 years ago. And then from that, the whole joy of camp, putting that together, but the characters themselves have some real issues that all of us experience. So the idea that kids can and do deal with anxiety and worry and concern and friendship and companionship. And so all those things are neatly put in the show without breaking the fun and interactive part of it. But it does give, like, all the characters do give an opportunity for the audience, including the young audience members, to see that, hey, I do have anxiety too. That's something that I can deal with, and I can go to a support person, like an adult or a friend, a camp counselor, for example, to find that. And that was part of my experience, and so just put it on the stage. And I think as Canadians, we very much love and know the idea of a campfire. It's where we gather very often. It's where we share stories and bring our best selves, and it's without any kind of distraction. And so that's where Camp Campy really came from. It's just 40 minutes of just sheer go, 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 without having to worry about, let's say, the outside world and that, but still seeing yourself in the different characters.
I think what's great about the show is that it does tackle all of these important issues about everyone having their own identity and belonging and supporting each other, but it does it in such a fun, lighthearted way. We don't stop the show to talk about anyone's trauma or anything like that, but we have 3 amazing characters who are all so different and unique, and they're all experiencing their own problems throughout the show, and through their friendship and through the fun adventures that we bring the audience into, everyone gets to learn that they are accepted and they are part of this community that gets to build this campfire and have a lot of fun.
Sure. I play Counselor Jay in the show. Much like me. The Counselor Jay has a little bit of an anxiety to him, so I think it can be a lot of fun to try and bring that anxiety into more excitement. And I think what I'm thinking about, you kind of said it earlier, where it's some of these kids might see my character and be like, oh wow, like I have anxiety and I kind of get what he's saying. But it also might be, we might have some kids who are just like, I act like him, and they're kind of saying it's like like an anxiety thing. Maybe I should learn more about that. But I've already rambled too hard.
Yeah, I play Counselor Cal, who is the most senior counselor at the camp. And I think that for them, it's kind of like, you know, I've seen the other two counselors grow up from campers to now counselors. And that idea of building a space where people want to come back to, people can go as campers and experience their authentic selves and then grow up and want to help pass that down to the next generation of campers. And I think that's really special. And I think, you know, I definitely have teachers or counselors who come to mind when I'm like, oh, who do I want to be when I grow up? It's not necessarily a profession or like that. It's more like, how do I want to be? How do I want to present myself? And I think that Counselor Cal feels that for these two and for hopefully the other campers that will maybe one day be the next generation of counselors that then Jay and Trish will take care of. And I think that, yeah, finding community spaces is really important and taking care of each other is really important. And Honky's just there to be the authority figure. Someone's got to be strict with the rules.
So I play Counselor Trish, and she, on the surface, is very bubbly and over the top, and just wants to have a really fun time, has a lot of favorite things, but under the surface, there's a little bit more going on there. There's a little bit of sadness and maybe issues with her identity, and a little bit of overthinking as well. But Counselor Trish can definitely rely on her friends to get her along, and I think that she definitely shows that you can lean on your friends and family and your loved ones when you are, you know, you can't always be happy, and you can rely on them when you need a hand.
My show is called Daughter of the Country. I'm Samantha Loney. It's a solo show, and it'll be playing at the Barrie Theatre Festival at 5 Points Theatre in downtown Barrie, and the show starts at 7 p.m. from the 7th to 12th. Yeah, so I'm Métis. The show's stories about myself and my family that have kind of been passed down through generations, sort of set in a Métis kitchen, which is the heart of our home, telling the audience stories in the kitchen just like they were told to me. So yeah, it's about sort of that intergenerational trauma, but there will be laughs as well, so because that's how I deal with that, with humor, so hopefully everybody can laugh and learn something. I think just in my family, I think when you grow up kind of with that trauma, you could either let that kind of make you upset or sad and kind of stew in everything that's happened to you and your family in the past. But for me, I've always been taught by my aunties and uncles and my mom and things to kind of try to find the humor in that. And I think for the show, for people who maybe aren't Métis or aren't Indigenous, sort of talking about that subject can be uncomfortable. So I think when you add a little humor to it, hopefully that allows people to listen more and they don't feel as uncomfortable with maybe our history that we have in this country. For me, I think everybody, like you said, everybody has their own story. We've all been through stuff in the past. So for me, I hope sharing what's happened to my family and our story, maybe other people will be comfortable enough to maybe go to their grandmothers or their mothers and fathers and maybe ask them about the history of their family and things that have happened in the past. And hopefully that, yeah, for non-Indigenous people as well, like everyone has a story, like you said. So I hope this encourages them to go speak to their family and learn their history.
Hi, my name is Danny Cannis, and I'll be doing my show called Down Broadway Lane here at 5 Points Theatre on August 13th to the 17th at 8:30 p.m. and a bonus matinee on the 17th at 1 p.m. So Down Broadway Lane is about the musicals that I've been part of growing up as a performer, and also some iconic musicals that I know everybody would love and enjoy. So I composed and created and produced this show, which I'm sure all audience members will know some of the songs. I've been working on this show for the last 3 years. I've been very fortunate to put it on a couple of cruise lines out there in the middle of the ocean, entertaining audiences from all over the world, and I'm really excited to bring it home to Canada on Canadian soil. Yeah, I've been in the performing arts my entire life. I went to a performing arts high school and an academy afterwards. Was very fortunate to have an agent and just do shows all over Canada, a couple of tours as well, and then found my my calling on cruise lines. So Down Broadway Lane is about 45 minutes, and it covers all different genres from all different types of musicals throughout the decades. So you're going to see and hear things from the 50s all the way to the 2000s.
I was a development officer for a number of years, but I've been with the organization off and on since 2003. So I worked with the original founders, Larissa Mayer and Nick Bailey, and started being an associate producer, and then all of a sudden was thrown into fundraising. And that's thanks to Larissa. Developed my fundraising career over the last 20 years now, and so I have a firm. I work with different nonprofits all over Ontario. But Theatre by the Bay has always been, one of my babies and one of my loves, putting it together and putting it on. And originally just raising funds for it. The position needed some help because Theatre by the Bay went through a pretty big change, brand new board, brand new staff. And they kind of needed somebody who was familiar and had the connections to help put on shows and continue them. So I said, no, we're not going to stop a year. We're going to keep going, and I'll step up and be managing producer. And then I've got a wonderful team around me to help. It definitely takes a village to work on a theatre company, for sure. Barrie's a draw, right? In Simcoe County, it's obviously one of the biggest municipalities. So what's great about it is that Theatre by the Bay is one of two professional theatres in Barrie. You go farther north, and the next farthest north for a professional theatre company is actually Magnus Theatre in Thunder Bay. So you go that way. And then, yeah, I would say, in the Vaughan area, there's definitely other professionals. But it's so crucial. We've been a pillar of the arts and culture here, especially in theatre, right from the white big tent down at the waterfront putting on Shakespeare, which was 20 some years ago, and bringing Shakespeare to Barrie that many years ago was interesting, because every Ontario town and city was a hockey town, but the community really warmed up to it. People came out, we added kids shows, they loved that, they were sold out all the time. We did musicals, contemporary work, and then just evolved, shifted as every theatre company does. And so this is a new era for Theatre by the Bay with, as I say, a new staff, a new board, and a new direction. We want to create enjoyable theatre, bring some national recognized talent right here to Barrie, but also help the emerging, artists in Central Ontario and the Barrie area, make sure that they have, their shot and they can be mentored and work with some of these established acts so they can learn and grow their own careers. The city has really had a nice mandate of supporting arts and culture. It's come a long way, as always, as I say, most Ontario towns, sports gets a lot of it, but there's a lot of draw with sports tourism, so I completely understand. But what we found over the last number of years is that arts and culture also has a place. And the City of Barrie, Mayor Nuttall and the council have also recognized that. They're all behind us, and what's exciting about that is that kind of a partnership is an incubator to build, strong infrastructure. So we're sitting in one of them now, the 5 Points Theatre here in Barrie. They're talking about a new performing arts mixed-use facility as well. Mayor Nuttall has mentioned that a few times in his interviews. So we're excited about that. And we want to grow this festival that we're doing so it becomes that would be the home of the new space, as well as this wonderful theatre we're sitting in now. Yeah. What we did was for the Barrie Theatre Festival, we broke it down to 3 different series. So there's 6 shows total. 2 of them were submissions from all over Canada. So right from Vancouver all the way to Nova Scotia. And so we chose 2 that were just, it's hard to say no to because they're just phenomenal. Crime After Crime is the Sex T-Rex comedy troupe. Phenomenal professionals. Have won Fringe, both in Montreal and in Toronto, Just for Laughs winners. It's just that show, the 50s noir, 70s heist and 90s buddy cop, rolled into one. It's going to be hilarious. And then Daughter of the Country is another phenomenal one. Samantha Loney has a wonderful one-woman Métis storytelling about her grandmother and the generations came before her around her grandmother's kitchen table and telling that story. But she's a bit of a stand-up comedian too, so she weaves humor into the heartfelt side of it. We're also excited. So that for Samantha's show is part of the Central Ontario. So as I said, there is 3 different series, Canada-wide. So that would be the Crime After Crime. And the other one is Danny Cannis and Down Broadway Lane. So if you like Broadway, you're going to love this show. Danny is a phenomenal performer, and he takes you down all the big hits of Broadway and, shows you in between, what's happened in Broadway and how that's progressed. That's our Canada series. The 2 Central Ontario is the one I mentioned, Daughter of the Country, which is amazing. And then a new play by our associate producer, Tom Ketchum, called Barrie Bard's Blunder, if I could say that 5 times fast. And it's about putting on Romeo and Juliet and failing miserably. So it's a lot of fun. I think it's poking fun at us actually a little bit, but we're having fun with it. We just saw a snippet of it, and it's just phenomenal. And then we wanted to make sure, because Theatre by the Bay was based on helping youth and providing shows for young audiences. So we wanted a Theatre for Young Audience series. So we brought that, and we have 2 amazing shows, Campy, Campfire show. I think I got that right. Are they over here? They're over here looking at me if I got the name right. Really fun, interactive. It's great getting the audience for all ages. And then Curious K Explores the Paleozoic is our other one. It was just phenomenal, where 2 high school kids get lost in the ROM and discover, a couple of exhibitions and one comes alive. So we're really excited to have them all here in Barrie from August 7th to 17th. It's amazing. The selection process was hard. We had a lot of choices. But we picked, obviously the best based on artistic integrity, diversity, as well as, just enjoyment. What does the community want to see? And I think that's Theatre of the Bay is in this new era wants to work collaboratively with the community itself. So it's partly, we have this artistic vision that we want to make sure we put on high profile and high level performances, but work with the community to go, what do you want to see? What do you want to enjoy to see? You want to go to one of our amazing restaurants and then come see one of our shows and just have a wonderful night at the theater. And that's what we do here at Theatre by the Bay. How we survived, you mean? That magical word? Well, what I'm happy to say, like every nonprofit, especially in theater, has its ups and downs and challenges. So last year we had some financial struggles for sure. So a change had to be made. And so when we did that, it was going back to financial stability as well as keeping the artistic integrity, which is not an easy task. You have these 2 different, they seem like they're opposites, but we figured out a way how to work them together. So you have still amazing high profile quality shows, but you also are watching the budget line. You're also being conscious of making sure that your shows have that foundation of sustainability, so that when every cast member or crew member comes in, they're comfortable. We have the resources to make sure they're taken care of. And that's one thing that I want Theatre by the Bay to be known for, is that we not only put on great shows for the community and the surrounding areas, but also that when you work with us, it's an enjoyable time. It's not a stressful time. Theatre should be fun. We get the job done, we work hard, but at the same time, it doesn't need to be stressful and it doesn't need to be chaotic. And that's what we're really trying to do, to get ahead of anticipate any issues that may come up, which they do, but it's how we handle them and make sure everybody's good with that. People ask me all the time, what's the best way to support Theatre by the Bay? And it is come and see the shows. Come and experience. Yes, I'd love a donation or a membership or a sponsorship, but come and see what we do. It will prove to you that it's just an amazing level of entertainment. You'll be blown away that we have this in Barrie, and we're able to draw some wonderful talent. So come buy a ticket, bring a neighbor with you, and then tell 10 of your friends about it. That is one of the biggest things. You will not be disappointed at this festival. I'm very close to saying you will. You know what? I'm going to say it. I guarantee if you will like one of these shows in the festival, at least one, or I'll give you your money back. That is how I feel about it. It's just amazing to see what they're doing, and we just got a sample of it today on our media day, and I got chills. I got goosebumps about it. Come out, check it out. Kids shows, we got, you know, some for the adults, some PG-13, let's call it that, something like that. But it's going to be such a time. So come out and enjoy August 7th to 17th right here at 5 Points Theatre in Barrie, Theatre by the Bays, Barrie Theatre Festival.